Just a few. Just a couple of back-to-back 6 a.m. wake-up calls, contracts getting done, money getting doled out.
Crazy stuff happening 2 days in a row here. Welcome to the set, Ezekiel Elliott. The watch is over. Give me the details on this. 6 years, $90 million extension for Zeke. We're talking all Zeke today. I hope that's okay with you guys. What are your initial reactions? Did you know it was going to happen before game one? I know you did.
I knew he was going to be here. I'm not going to go as far as to brag and say I knew he was going to get the deal done. But yes, I knew he'd be here. $100 million for a running back. That's my primary reaction. The other one, Barry, we talked about this. You got a running back under contract for 8 years.
His whole life.
That's insane.
Prime time, if you would.
His prime, his late stage, his everything. Like,
that's unheard of.
I mean, he could be Frank Gore. That's possible.
True, babe.
But
Don't say that. Don't.
Hey, it is a long time Cowboys' best player, one of the best skilled players in the NFL, and he is going to be here for the long haul. I'm pumped.
Yes, the news came out before the sun this morning. And guys, I was out here at Cowboys Fit, our gym that we have here, and there were literally helicopters surrounding this building. Like they thought they would get a peek at Zeke, and I don't think they did because he has to practice today at 11:15, but he has to pass a physical. Is that right? He has to pass a physical.
Yeah, things have got to get in order.
Do some different things instead of just get on that field, even though we are all ready to see it.
So another person, wait, is this Zeke next to me right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
My
Bucket
man,
hat?
I just had to throw a shout out to my guy for coming back from Cabo with the bucket look. I appreciate it. It's summer, hot boy summer.
There it is.
Have you guys ever seen, I haven't seen a running back followed in traffic that closely since O.J. Simpson.
This
That's
guy covers
all
here
I'm
in
saying.
Dallas. I'm sure
Insane.
everyone has seen it by now if you're on Twitter, but there were choppers following him from the airport to his house yesterday, O.J. Simpson style. It was weird. I was not ready for it.
It was a little weird, but you know what? Like the web traffic justified it. Like everybody's like, I don't care about this. They say as they're the 90,000th person to click the link.
Zeke is back.
All right, let's get your reactions. Do you like it? Are you happy with it? Are you okay with it? Jerry Jones is in New York City on Wall Street right now. All smiles, getting national coverage talking about it. He seems to love it. He said he's happy to have Zeke here, one of the best players on the team. No shade at anyone else. And he has a big heart, and he's glad he's going to be a part of this team. But do you guys like it? Barry, what do you think?
I mean, like you said, no disrespect to anybody else on the team, but this is the best player on this team. And for them to get this running back locked down for 8 years, that's unheard of at the position of the running back position. So I think it's a great team-friendly deal, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he got out there.
I love that you said that because it actually is. When you do the math, you add that 6 years to the 2 and carry it over, he's making less than $13 million a year in salary, which, he gets the 15 number that puts him at the top for the extension, and that's great. $12.8 million a year. This is manageable, and again, as scary as it is for a running back to be under contract for 8 years, you're talking about the best running back in football, or 1B with Todd Gurley, that's fine.
1B.
There are a million different ways you can use this guy. He caught 77 balls last year. He's got a better offensive coordinator who can use him more efficiently. This guy is going to be the engine of your offense for the foreseeable
future. Let me get into that with Kellen Moore.
I'm thrilled about it.
Let me get into that. How much really changes? Because Kellen Moore's been around. What does this allow him to do differently now that you got Zeke back? Well, you think we'll really see anything different, Barry?
I think you'll just see a lot of empty packages. You know how Scott Linehan kind of ran that last year a little bit, and he comes under that Scott Linehan tree. So, like you said, Zeke's caught, 71 passes out of the backfield last year. So I think you'll see him in a lot more empty packages and using him as a receiving threat, and also the running back option. He's the best in the league for a reason.
What does this mean to Tony Pollard?
I like that you're just out there.
What does this mean for Tony
You're already
Pollard?
moving on.
No, I'm not moving on. I want to talk about all the pieces that you might see out there in week one, because Zeke's going to be limited, right?
Well, and that's exactly right. I think you're going to see a familiar Ezekiel Elliott that you saw against the Carolina Panthers last year. He got 15 carries in that game. I think that will be a similar workload.
I think you're probably looking at a snap count here, like no more than 30. Let's say they run 65, 70 in the game, like no more than 30. He missed all of training camp. I do think that's important. I think Tony Pollard has a role to play, but it's severely decreased. I drafted Tony Pollard in fantasy, and I'm
Who are you, Dave?
I'm just saying, I had to hedge my bets, and it bit me, and that's fine. Tony Pollard's role decreases, but honestly, he showed enough in preseason. I still hope he has a sizable role to play.
Sure. Okay, let's go back to the contract. We were discussing, all of us have been up since 5 a.m. We've been thinking about the contract. What do you guys think the fine print is? Because when you look at the big picture, it's a big number, but surely Jerry Jones has structured this thing. I think maybe that's why it's taken so long that the fine print has a lot of ifs and, well, you better not do this, and just because of the things that have happened in the past, right?
Oh, you got to be like that. I mean, like you said, things that happened in the past, it's hurt him and hurt the team as well. So you got to orchestrate that contract to where it helps the offense, or it helps the team, and it also helps Zeke stay out of trouble. And I mean, nobody wants to lose money, so I'm sure that'll be a motivator for him to not get in trouble.
The Cowboys,
Incentive-based.
they always build incentives into this stuff, whether it's workout incentives, whether it's snap and game incentives. I think all that'll be there. It's hard to know that 2 hours after the deal got agreed to. But again, the big thing for me, and I love Zeke, I'm happy about the deal. We're talking about the NFL, we're talking about the running back position. The Cowboys have structured this thing so that they can get out of it after a certain point. You know, whether that's front loading it, whether that's a certain amount of guarantees. Like I said, it's hard to know. But deals very rarely come to completion anyway, especially 8-year deals for running back. I would just be surprised if that's the case.
Well, and Lindsay brought it up earlier. Ezekiel Elliott will be a Cowboy for life if the Jones family can handle that, which they did today. And that means that they're winning too, because they are getting Ezekiel Elliott throughout his entire prime. And Dave, you're right. Yeah, there might be some ways to get out of that, but the Cowboys are going to win if they have the Ezekiel Elliott we know and love on that field.
Quick break here from the studio. When we come back, we are giving you a look at where Jerry Jones is at this moment. It's not here. We think a press conference is happening tomorrow. More details for you right after this on Cover 4.
You're watching Cover 4. Go Cowboys!
Zeke getting fed right here. It's his time of the game to close it out.
Here's Prescott keeping for the touchdown. At the 40, running away. This is amazing. How about this, Cowboys?
Welcome back into Cover 4. It's been a wild 24 hours. I don't know if you guys remember yesterday we were talking about Lyle Collins and taking Lyle who? Taking guesses at when Zeke's deal would be done. Let's just do, we have a little timeline to show you guys what all has happened in the last 24 hours, and the coverage has just been so wild with this. People on planes taking pictures of Zeke in Cabo. Here he is landing in Dallas with the bucket hat, just like Dave.
Zeke.
Johnny matches. Zeke is back in Dallas. He says, I have been ready to go. This was great.
The Dirk tweet.
Dirk,
Dirk lands
from China.
Think everyone's there for him, and they're there for, who's that?
Oh, look,
David
it's me.
Hellman.
It's me.
Choppers. So did you predict that? You just took
Literally,
a guess?
I was joking, and 15 minutes later, I saw that. Like, are you kidding
That's
me?
incredible.
This is insanity.
How much fuel did they use following Zeke to work?
5:55 a.m. Ian Rappaport, Jane Slater, Todd Archer. Everybody had the scoop, and then Zeke says this: I am ready to get back and eat with the crew here in Dallas. You guys think Dak talks today in the locker room?
I hope so.
He's going to say, I'm talking tomorrow. I'm talking Thursday.
Questions about his contract, because he's up next.
Let's talk about Dak. What are we thinking? What is he thinking right now? And he's just been so chill about this whole thing. And Jared Goff, I mean, there's more money to be talked
Dak
about.
is like, my price
Woo,
up.
I'm happy, right? Okay, first let's discuss Dak. What do you think if you're a teammate of a guy who gets paid like this? You're kind of in the same boat as him. Just what do you think Dak is right now?
To me, I think Dak's in a great boat right now. I mean, I think he believes in himself, and even if he has to go out there and prove it this year, I feel as though he'll be able to do that and get that high mark that he wants to. I mean, Jared Goff just signed, one of the biggest contracts, if not the biggest contract in NFL history, with $110 million guaranteed. If I'm Dak, I'm looking at that saying, that's got to be me next.
There he is, right there.
Yeah, and
That's how Will Smith feels. That's how Dak is feeling
I
right now.
think Dak is such a team player, and obviously 2-1-4 is notorious to be together. he is so happy that he will have Ezekiel Elliott here now to ultimately make him a better player.
I'm going to say Dak has the belief in himself, but he's got to feel good.
Oh,
Dak
yes.
is there to help him out.
And Lyle locked up.
I don't know what to do with Dak, just in the sense of, are we going to wait till January for him to get an extension? Like, or is this a domino effect? Like, are we just going to keep this thing rolling? Because you could convince me that Dak's deal could be coming in short order. Maybe
I've
not
got a
this
question
Sunday,
for you. Do you think that maybe the Joneses' thoughts about Dak is dependent on having Zeke on this team? That's why they got Zeke done first.
I hope not. Like, I hope they believe in him enough to sign him on his own, but he's going to be better with Zeke. So if that gives them the little extra confidence they need to get a deal done, that's fine with me.
I mean, with Zeke's play action out there, it opens up so much for that offense and opens up so much for Dak. I mean, he's got to be happy for Zeke to be back in there.
Oh, yeah, just thinking week one with that box being loaded. I mean, I know it's New York, but that changes the game for Dak Prescott as much as it does for the team.
I can't wait to see what Kellen Moore can do with Zeke, can do with Dak. I hope to see Dak more as a runner in conjunction with Zeke, playing off each other, more of a quarterback option, keeper stuff. Kellen Moore came from Boise State. Let's get weird, Kellen Moore.
Let's get weird with it. What have you seen on social, Taylor, as far as
social
Zeke's
media
family?
has been bananas. You're right, his family, they're actually here at the Star eating at neighborhood services at the Omni in Frisco. His girlfriend Hallie posted on social media just right before the show that she is eating with his mom Dawn, who is a fan favorite.
We gotta get Dawn on the show.
Dawn on Twitter. You guys should go follow Ezekiel Elliott's mom right now. She has had to be quiet this entire time. I'm sure that was not fun for her and not fun for Zeke, as he already had the gift ready to go today, guys.
He's had that in his draft.
He's just had that ready to go.
I mean, genuinely, it's hard to kind of picture what these guys are thinking when they're holding out, but to see him back in the airport when he was just cameras all around and he said, I've been ready to get back with my team. I kind of felt that a little bit. Like, he was holding out, but didn't really want to be there, wanted to be back here. I don't know, it's just all really weird. Well, it's a weird dynamic.
Well, I was just going to say, you could tell, like, he had a good attitude. His spirits were up. Ezekiel Elliott is kind of the guy that we've always seen. He wears his emotions on his sleeves. He was out there signing autographs for Cowboys fans, posing for selfies. I think that if he was frustrated or felt like he was coming to Dallas upset, he would not have had that high spirit attitude he had walking out of the airport.
He wouldn't have gotten on that plane unless he thought there was a pretty good chance he'd be signing a $90 million contract. So I doubt.
Riding coat.
Buying us lunch, buying us dinner here.
She said it, not me.
2-minute drill time. Yes, a little bit of it has to do with Zeke, but my question is, are you guys concerned that key players are not having a lot of practice time leading up to week one? I'm thinking DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm thinking Byron Jones. I'm even thinking Amari Cooper.
Yeah?
Make me feel better,
Major
Barry.
Yeah,
concern.
makes you feel better, Barry.
I don't think I can do that. But what I'm saying is, for me, myself, I know I had to get out there and see the practice field. I had to see the routes coming at me. I had to see the different formations, how the quarterback's going to look. But, I mean, for some guys, they can just go out there and look at their iPad and say, hey, I'm ready to play on Sunday. But for me, that wasn't the case. And hopefully for these guys.
Well, maybe
they'll be able
for
to get out there.
Byron, I mean, kind of same position type thing, maybe he is somebody that really needs that.
I think he really needs that. I mean, especially at the corner position. I mean, you got to get those live blitz. You got to get those live reps to be able to be ready for the season.
I think you're right. Sorry, Tay.
No, you're
I
good.
think you're right. The one thing that gives me hope, who'd we mention? DeMarcus, Byron, Zeke, Amari. Zach Martin's another one.
Yep.
These guys are all pros. Like, they've all been named
Ayo.
at the top of their position at one point or another in their career. If anybody can do it, I have faith in those guys.
Guys, I might just be an NFC homer right now, but I am saying that I'm happy it is the New York Giants that you're facing.
Oh,
when
hell
that
yeah.
is the case.
Yes.
Because the New York Giants are beat up all over the place, and I am happy to see that the Cowboys will have that as their first test.
I think the spread actually got better when they took Eli Manning out of. I don't know. It was something really. I mean,
You want to see the Rook? I'm Eli. Please play one more year. I don't want to see Daniel.
it's gonna
He
be.
looked
Does
impressive.
Daniel Jones play by the end of the year?
Oh, he has to, in my opinion. Probably around week 8, week 9. But I mean, the New York Giants, it's a division game.
Not week one.
They are.
Never
It's
Is he ready for Ezekiel Elliott? Is their defense ready for
Oh, I think their defense will struggle this year.
Yeah.
I think I mean, they have a better offensive line, but I think their defense will definitely struggle this year.
Can't take anything for granted in the NFL,
Not at all.
but in a league where every game is competitive, this is as manageable of an opener as you can ask for,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I think that's fair.
And Zeke will be
Absolutely
there.
agree.
And Zeke will be.
And Zeke will be back. 10 seconds to go. We're just going to wrap the show and head up to Jason Garrett's press conference. Ton of podcasts coming your way today, and I promise we will talk more about the Giants tomorrow on another edition of Cover 4.